It's all happening. You are on the verge of victory. But if you miss this one crucial step, you could watch it all slip away. You're standing right on the edge of your big breakthrough. This gateway doesn't just swing open for anybody. It only shows itself to the ones who have weathered the storms, pushed through invisible barriers, and refused to get stuck where most people give up. If you're watching this right now, it's a sign that you're one of the few who managed to get past the obstacles designed to keep the majority trapped. This powerful energy, this Mercury in Virgo portal, only shows up when something very specific is falling into place. And at this moment, today, and all through tomorrow, it's at its absolute peak. But there's a catch. One single mistake, one word spoken at the wrong time, and this opening could slam shut before you even get a chance to step through. This is why silence has never been so important. And if you're thinking this is just another cosmic alignment or another ordinary day, you're already missing the secret this portal is hiding. Because what's waiting on the other side of this gateway was never meant for the masses. Most people don't even notice it. This window of opportunity passes right over them. And they just go on with their daily lives, as if nothing has changed. Only the outsiders, the misfits, the people who never quite fit in, can feel the shift in the air. That's because the universe doesn't just hand out keys to people who always play it safe. It saves them for those who are willing to walk their own path, to hold their tongue when silence is what protects the seeds of their future growing in the dark. If you've ever felt like your journey was a lonely one, like nobody else could see the world the way you do, this is the reason why. That portal doesn't belong to them. It belongs to you. But the real question is, if you've been given the keys, what are you unlocking tomorrow? The biggest mistake anyone can make right before a win is to declare victory before the game is actually over. They catch a glimpse of the finish line, and instead of focusing and pushing through to the end, they shout it from the rooftops. That's exactly when things start to fall apart. Mercury in Virgo is incredibly picky about the details. It shines a light on all the cracks, the weak spots, and the tiny things you might have missed. And if the wrong person hears what you're planning, they can twist it, block it, or even use your own plans against you. Think of it like a game of chess. What happens if you yell checkmate before you've made the final move? You give your opponent a chance to see your strategy and snatch the win right from under you. Never celebrate until your victory is a sure thing. This portal is a test of your discipline. Can you keep your breakthrough a secret until the crown is actually on your head? Or will you let your excitement get the best of you before the moment is real? Here's the interesting paradox. As this portal opens up, your personal energy gets stronger. Your presence becomes impossible to miss. People will start to notice you without you even saying a thing. Some will be drawn to you because they can feel your positive momentum, while others might feel a bit threatened by your glow. This is where things can get tricky, because while your aura is practically shouting, your best strategy is complete silence. The universe is boosting your energy, not your voice. That means you don't have to justify yourself. You don't have to convince anybody of anything. And you definitely don't have to share your next move. If you speak up, you'll just draw all sorts of attention to your light. But if you stay quiet, you can move forward unnoticed, straight toward your goal. This moment is all about realizing that your very being, your unique frequency, is powerful enough. Your aura is already communicating for you. The people who are meant to get it already see it. The ones who aren't don't need to. Your power right now isn't in what you say. It's in what you keep to yourself. Virgo energy doesn't arrive with a big bang. It doesn't come to fill you with grand dreams or emotional highs. It shows up with a broom, a to-do list, and a flashlight. And it points right at the messy corners you've been trying to ignore. You can't just brush this shift aside. It starts small, almost like a nagging feeling. You look around, and things just feel a bit off, cluttered, or too loud. Your space might feel too small. That one friend you've been putting up with suddenly feels draining to be around. The way you eat, sleep, and spend your time, it all starts to feel a bit wrong. That's not a coincidence. That's Virgo at work. Virgo doesn't just tear down what isn't working. It makes you see it so clearly that you can never unsee it. And once you see it, you can't go back to just tolerating it. Mercury in Virgo brings a sharp, focused awareness. It's like your inner critic is suddenly wide awake and isn't holding back. You start to notice every little thing that's been quietly draining your energy. The conversations that leave you feeling empty. The foods that make your body feel heavy. The habits you once thought were harmless, but now feel like they're holding you back. This Virgo energy isn't here to make you feel bad. It's here to wake you up, not just spiritually, but physically, mentally, and energetically. It's a total system reset. Big breakthroughs can't happen in the middle of chaos. They need a clear, clean space to land. The problem is, most people resist this phase because it's not glamorous. Virgo energy doesn't feel exciting at first. It feels uncomfortable, like everything in your life is suddenly under a microscope. But that discomfort is the very sign that the energy is working. And the moment you lean into that honesty, things start to change, fast. You clear out one messy drawer, and suddenly you're flooded with new ideas. You cut ties with one toxic person, and a new door opens where one was closed before. That's the thing about Virgo. It rewards action, not just good intentions. It responds when you actually do something. Not just write about it in a journal. Not just think about it. Not just script it out for manifestation. You have to physically move. And don't be surprised if this cleanup becomes a bit addictive. Because once you start getting rid of the excess, emotionally, physically, and socially, you start to feel lighter. That's the signal your body and spirit have been waiting for. That lightness is momentum. It means your energy field is clearing. It means your frequency is rising. It means the portal sees you making room for the upgrade that's coming your way. Clarity isn't the prize. It's the price of admission. This is why the Virgo portal can feel so demanding. Because it doesn't just suggest you clean up. It requires it. And not just the visible stuff. Virgo gets into your daily routines, your diet, your inner self-talk, your screen time, your sleep patterns, your emotional health. It's a full-on cosmic detox. The truth is, Virgo isn't just the cleanup crew. It's the quality control of the universe. It won't let your victory land in chaos. It won't let your manifestation arrive if your life isn't ready to hold it. And that's not a punishment. It's a protection. The very thing you've been asking for is too precious to be handed to a version of you that's messy, distracted, and energetically leaky. So if you're feeling an overwhelming urge to clean, to organize, to declutter, to let go, trust it. That's the portal whispering, make room. Something big is on its way. Nothing changes until you do, and nothing new arrives until there's space for it to stay. Let the Virgo energy do its job. Not because you need to be perfect, but because your future deserves a clean space to walk into. Your victory isn't waiting for you to do more. It's waiting for you to get rid of what's no longer necessary. And when the dust settles, when the noise fades, when the chaos is cleared, you'll notice something else. Peace, stillness, and focus. That's when you'll know the runway is ready. The universe doesn't land planes in the middle of a storm. It waits for clear skies. And that clarity is what you're building right now, quietly, carefully, and intentionally. So sweep the floor, cut the cord, empty your inbox, rearrange your space, delete the number, wash your sheets, clear the clutter, and organize your thoughts. The Virgo portal is open, and the cleaner your world becomes, the faster your crown will arrive. There's a special kind of power that only the quiet ones ever get to experience. The kind of power that stays invisible until the moment it strikes. You've probably heard people say, move in silence, but they never really explain why silence is so important or how it works to your advantage. Right now, in this specific portal, that silence is your greatest tool. And not because it's about shutting people out, but because it's about keeping your impact powerful and undiluted. Silence doesn't make you smaller. It makes your next move too big for anyone to predict. When you stay quiet, People tend to fill in the blanks themselves. They assume nothing important is happening. They might write you off or count you out. And that's exactly what you want. Because in that underestimation, in that blind spot they have, is where you can gather the most strength. It's the gap between what they think they see and the actual power you're building that gives you the space to work without any interference. And here's what most people will never get about this phase. When people underestimate you, they let their guard down. They relax. They don't see you as competition. So while they're busy trying to impress everyone else, you're quietly removing your own obstacles, getting yourself aligned, and stacking up small, silent wins that nobody is even aware of but you. You're building momentum that won't be noticed until it's too late for anyone to stop it. The most powerful person in the room is the one who has nothing to prove but everything to accomplish. This isn't about being humble just for the sake of it. It's all about timing. It's about knowing that the universe doesn't reward noise during a portal like this. It rewards discipline. And that means knowing when to keep your cards close to your chest and when to go all in. And let's be real, most people probably weren't rooting for you anyway. A lot of people only clap when it benefits them. They'll support you once your success is undeniable. But during the build-up, when you're still climbing, still planning, and still moving in silence, that's when the doubts, the dismissals, and the condescending advice come out. They don't see the crown taking shape because they're looking for noise, not energy. Let them think you're finished. Let them think you've given up. A victory always hits hardest when they've stopped paying attention. You see, Virgo doesn't just clean things up. It clears the path so that no one can see what's being built. That's what you're doing right now. And this is why the universe loves to lift up the quiet ones. Because when you don't need validation from others, when you're not performing for an audience, you become unshakable. You are not behind schedule. You are just unannounced. And when the moment comes, because it will, the shockwave will be unforgettable. The people who overlooked you will be scrambling to figure out how they missed the signs. But you'll know that every moment of silence was a part of your strategy. So let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them think you're done. The more they underestimate you, the more room you have to rise without any resistance. Their attention is a distraction. Their noise is irrelevant. You are in alignment, not for their applause, but for your breakthrough. You're not being quiet because you're lost. You're being quiet because you're locked in. Let them misunderstand your silence. Just make sure they never forget your results. Not every win looks like fireworks in the sky. Some of the biggest breakthroughs show up in ordinary clothes, disguised as something small, something most people would easily overlook. That's the gift of Mercury in Virgo. It doesn't bring grand, dramatic gestures. It brings precision, details, and subtle shifts that can change everything if you're paying close enough attention. This portal is whispering, not shouting. It's in the text message that seems random but actually holds an opportunity. It's in the phone call that feels casual but opens a door you never expected. It's in the invitation you almost ignore, but later realize was the single thread that unraveled into a life-changing connection. Virgo teaches you that victories aren't always loud. They're quiet, almost invisible to the untrained eye. Sometimes the blessing doesn't knock on your door. It slips through the cracks while you're being still. That's why silence is your greatest ally right now. When you're too loud, too eager to announce every single step you take, you drown out these subtle messages. You miss the whispers because you're the one making all the noise. But when you stay silent, when you let your energy do the work instead of your words, you start to notice the signs. You catch the little details that others just skim past. These invisible victories aren't just about things happening outside of you either. They happen inside you. The moment you stop reacting to old triggers, the moment you realize a toxic connection no longer has any power over you, the moment you choose patience instead of trying to prove yourself, that's a win. It may not be something you can post on social media, but it shifts your entire timeline. This is Virgo's secret power. It rewards those who can master the small things. Because the small things are never just small. They are the building blocks of the big picture. These silent wins are building momentum just beneath the surface, stacking one on top of the other until the breakthrough finally bursts out into the open. And here's the paradox. The quieter you are, the louder the universe speaks to you. The less you broadcast, the more you receive, because this portal isn't about showing the world that you're winning. It's about letting the universe hand you victories that no one else can even see until the day they can't possibly ignore them anymore. Silence doesn't mean doing nothing. Silence is not weakness. It's not about being passive. It's power under control. The most impactful people in any room are not the loud ones, but the ones who know how to wait without wasting their energy. That's what this portal is asking you to do, to master the art of active silence. So, what do you do while you're waiting? You turn your focus inward. You build strength in places that nobody else can see. You align yourself so completely with your victory that when it finally shows up, it feels like it was always meant to be, not like a surprise. This isn't about just sitting still and hoping for the best. It's about moving energy in a way that doesn't require any words. One of the most powerful things you can do right now is to practice silent gratitude. Not writing it down, not speaking it out loud, but just feeling it, breathing it in, and letting your body experience the feeling of that victory before it's even here. Gratitude that is felt, not just spoken, has a way of bending reality in your favor. You can also take some time to reflect deeply on your goals, but not in an obsessive way that just scatters your thoughts. Virgo energy thrives on precision. So, look at the details of your life and ask yourself what needs to be cleaned up, what needs to be trimmed away, what no longer belongs. This is a ritual in itself. Every time you clear out a drawer, every time you delete a number you don't need, every time you let go of an old habit, you're sending a clear signal to the universe. I'm making space for my win. Meditation during this time isn't just about emptying your mind. It's about sharpening it. By sitting in silence and focusing on your breath, you start to notice the little thoughts that are always running in the background. The more aware you become of those whispers inside your own head, the more power you'll have when the real whispers from the universe arrive. And here's the truth that most people miss. Silence isn't empty. It's filled with answers. When you hold on to your energy instead of spilling it everywhere, it grows. When you let your aura speak louder than your voice, the right people will feel it, the right opportunities will sense it, and the wrong ones will be filtered out automatically. Think of it as a ritual of containment. You're not wasting your fire on explanations, validations, or premature celebrations. You're letting that fire build in silence until it becomes so bright that it's undeniable. Silent winners don't rush. They don't broadcast their moves. They prepare. And when the moment finally arrives, it looks to everyone else like an overnight success. But you'll know it was built in the unseen hours of disciplined, patient waiting. Not everyone can handle this kind of silence. Not everyone can sit in the stillness of a portal and let their energy do all the work. And this is where it gets interesting, because while you're growing stronger, the people who aren't in tune with this frequency start to come undone. Watch them closely. They'll become restless, agitated, and strangely irritable. The quiet, focused energy of this moment feels unbearable to them. It's like shining a bright light into a dusty room. Suddenly, everything that was hidden starts floating around in the air, where you can't ignore it anymore. They can't stay still because stillness forces them to face themselves, and instead of looking inward, they project all of that discomfort outward. So, you'll see it play out in both obvious and subtle ways. Gossip that comes out of nowhere. Arguments that don't even make sense. Someone close to you might suddenly try to drag you into some drama, not because you did anything wrong, but because they can't handle the quiet that's exposing their own inner chaos. The louder they get, the more they reveal what they've been trying to hide. These people are like spiritual vampires, and the silence of this portal makes them antsy. While you're being guided to conserve your fire, They're desperately looking for a flame to feed on. They'll try to poke at you, bake you, and pull you into conversations that drain your focus. And if you're not careful, the energy that was meant for your breakthrough gets wasted on battles that don't even belong to you. But here's the part you really need to pay attention to. Not all of them will come at you so openly. Some won't lash out or create obvious drama. Instead, they'll put on another disguise, one that's far more dangerous because it doesn't look like hostility at all. In fact, one of the clearest ways they reveal themselves is by suddenly appearing to be helpful. This is the part most people don't see coming. When the energy shifts like it has now, not every distraction shows up as obvious hostility. Sometimes the most dangerous interference doesn't come from an enemy shouting in your face. It comes from an old critic, a doubter, or even a rival who suddenly appears with a smile and an offer of help. It's strange, isn't it? Someone who ignored you, dismissed you, or even secretly rooted against you suddenly wants to be part of your journey. They may say things like, "I just want to look out for you," or "I thought you could use my advice." But underneath, this isn't pure generosity. This is a test. Not every hand extended to you is meant to lift you up. Some are meant to hold you in place. You have to understand what's really happening here. The portal exposes everyone's true alignment. Those who can't sit in silence, those who feel your breakthrough without even knowing why, they start acting out in strange ways. Some lash out directly, but others try a more subtle tactic: infiltration. If they can't attack your path openly, they'll try to get close enough to steer you just a few degrees off course. This is why you cannot get flattered or tricked into thinking that sudden attention is the same as genuine support. Sometimes their advice is actually doubt wrapped in nice words. Sometimes their help is just a way to insert themselves into your energy to harvest the momentum that was never theirs to begin with. Friendly sabotage is still sabotage. And in this portal, it's at its peak. It's a cosmic test. The universe is asking, do you trust the silence more than you trust outside voices? Because silence keeps you aligned with the wind that's forming. Outside voices, even the ones that sound supportive, can distort it. Your victory doesn't need validation. It needs protection. Remember, not every opportunity to share is meant to be taken. Not every hand extended deserves to be held. Some people want to walk you across the finish line, just so they can claim they were part of your race. But this win is not for public consumption. It's yours. Entirely yours. And that's exactly why the universe is making sure you can recognize the difference between genuine support and cleverly disguised resistance. Here's the part nobody likes to admit. Most people lose their win not because they weren't ready, not because they didn't deserve it, but because they couldn't keep quiet. They get excited. They want to share. They want validation. And in doing so, they break the seal. The energy that was meant to crystallize into their breakthrough leaks out, disperses, and the portal closes right in front of them. Most people sabotage their own win at the last second. Don't be one of them. Think about it like carrying water in your hands. If you keep them cupped and steady, you'll make it to where you need to go. But the moment you open your palms to show others what you've been holding, it all spills. Your win is like that. Fragile until it's secured, powerful once it's sealed. When you start talking too soon, plans unravel. Suddenly, the people who are meant to quietly support you fade into the background. Helpers back off because they sense the energy isn't pure anymore. It's scattered. Opportunities that were forming slip away because you've let too many voices, too many eyes, and too much energy interfere with what was meant to stay protected. And let's be real, there are always those listening who don't want you to succeed. When you spill everything, you hand them the blueprint to interfere. Not because they're stronger than you, but because you gave them access to something that wasn't meant to be shared yet. But don't mistake this for fear. This isn't about living small or hiding forever. It's about timing. Silence is not weakness, it's precision. It's knowing that every crown has to be placed in private before it's revealed in public. It's understanding that the universe works in stages, and you don't pull something out of the oven before it's ready to rise. Silence is not suppression, it's strategy. The beautiful part is this. If you hold the silence, the energy compounds. What was just a seed becomes a tree before anyone even knows you planted it. By the time people realize, it's too late for them to interfere. Your win is locked, sealed, and undeniable. So the question becomes, will you stay disciplined enough to let silence do its work, or will you be like most, sabotaging yourself in the final stretch? The portal is open, but it's up to you to walk through without announcing every step. There's a reason why legends are rarely born in the spotlight, and why true power moves are never broadcast in real time. This Mercury and Virgo portal is not here to punish your voice or make you hide. It's not about becoming invisible or small. It's about whether you can master your energy long enough to become undeniable, whether you can hold your vision so tightly that not even your own excitement can pry it loose before it's time. Think about it. In every story worth telling, the one who ascends is never the one shouting from the rooftops, announcing every intention, and craving attention at every step. It's the one who carries the secret like a treasure, who keeps the seed safe under the soil until it's strong enough to break through on its own. Silence isn't emptiness, it's a vault. And the universe doesn't crown the loudest. It crowns the one who protected the process all the way through. True royalty is silent in its preparation and thunderous in its arrival. During this portal, you're being asked to prove you can be trusted with the win you've prayed for. Anyone can talk about their dreams. Anyone can hype themselves up. But can you wait? Can you keep your excitement on a leash, nurture your goal in silence, and let it become undeniable on its own? This is the final test. It's not a punishment, it's a graduation. Because here's the secret. The world has always underestimated the quiet one. People assume silence is weakness. They think if you're not talking, you must not be doing anything worth mentioning. Let them believe it. Let them imagine you're standing still while in reality, every moment of restraint is stacking power beneath the surface. So stand tall in your silence. Know that every second you hold back, you're proving yourself ready for the blessing that's been orbiting your timeline. And when it arrives, you won't need to say a word. The world will know the crown fits the quiet one. If you are still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very much appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.